Hello students, welcome back to our channel, and here we are again with another video. Today we are going to study the English of class 10th. We are going to study the second book, that is the Supplementary Reader. Here is the book, the Supplementary Reader, and the book name is Footprints Without Feet. Here is the book, and we are going to read chapter 1 of this book, that is A Triumph of Surgery. So before we get started, we will have an overall glimpse of the story. So let's get started. So here you can see the writer of this story is Mr. James Herriot. So I will tell you a little bit about him. He is a veterinary surgeon, a veterinary doctor. Now, the term who is a veterinary surgeon. So basically, a doctor who treats animals is called veterinary doctor or veterinary surgeon. And this is the main character of the story. First you can see Tricky. Tricky is a dog, and this story revolves around him. And Mrs. Pomfrey, she is the owner of that dog. She is the owner of Tricky. And Mr. Herriot, the writer himself, a veterinary doctor who treats Tricky, who treats this dog. What this story is all about? This story is all about pets love, adaptation, and being fit and healthy. So now we are going to read the story paragraph by paragraph, and we will understand what this story is all about. So in the first page you can see there is a small introduction, and the chapter name describes something, a triumph of surgery. Surgery, you know, it is a medical condition, it is called a medical treatment. And triumph. Triumph means a kind of victory. So now we are going to read the story. Tricky, a small dog, is pampered and overfed by his rich mistress. He falls seriously ill, and his mistress consults a veterinary surgeon. Does he perform an operation? Does the dog recover? So this was the introduction in the box. Tricky, who is a dog, and his owner is Mrs. Pomfrey, who is a very rich lady, and she loves the dog very much. She pampers the dog, and she feeds him everything. So as a result, the dog is overfed and the dog becomes ill. Now Mrs. Pomfrey is very concerned about Tricky's health. So she is very worried. She consults a doctor. What happens next? We will read in the story. I was really worried. We are in the first paragraph. I was really worried about Tricky this time. I had pulled up my car when I saw him in the street with his mistress, and I was shocked at his appearance. He had become hugely fat, like a bloated sausage, with a leg at each corner. His eyes, bloodshot and rheumy, stared straight ahead, and his tongue lolled from his jaws. So the doctor, the vet doctor, Mr. Herriot, once he stopped the car and he saw Tricky. The moment he saw, he became very worried about Tricky's health. So he is describing about his condition. At that time, Tricky is very fat, and he is describing about his body gestures, like its leg, it has become very fatty, and its tongue, it is coming all the time out of the mouth, and everything, the face, it is like become bloated. So this is the medical condition of Tricky. And the doctor, Mr. Herriot, He saw this and he became very worried about Tricky's health. Second paragraph. Mrs. Pumphrey hastened to explain. He was so listless, Mr. Harrier. He seemed to have no energy. I thought he must be suffering from malnutrition, so I have been giving him some little extra between meals to build him up. Some malt and cold liver oil and a bowl of Horlicks at night to make him sleep. Nothing much, really. So, when he talked to the dog's owner, Mrs. Pumphrey, she started describing why did happen, all that happened. So she was talking about that when she found the dog, he was not moving, and she felt like he's losing energy. So she became very worried about Tricky's health. So she thought the dog is suffering from malnutrition, he is ill. So Mrs. Pumphrey started feeding him. And what she did, she fed the dog everything like it is described here: Horlicks and malt. Malt is a kind of energy drink, and cold liver oil. So these things made Tricky fat, and as a result, he started suffering from obesity. Like some of the times we see in human beings also, if we eat a lot of junk food, a lot of oily food, so we suffer from obesity, we become fat, and at that time we are not that much energetic, so we become ill. So the same thing is happening with the dog. Now getting back to the story, and did you cut down on the sweet things as I told you? So the doctor told the owner not to give any kind of sweet dishes to the dog because it will increase the fatness. Oh, I did for a bit, but he seemed to be so weak and I had to relent. He does love cream cakes and chocolates, so I can't bear to refuse him. So here, the dog is very much loved by the owner. He is very much pampered by the owner. So whatever the dog wants, whatever he wishes to eat, the owner, Mrs. Pumphrey, does not refuse, does not forbid him. She gives him anything and everything, whatever the dog loves. So he loves cream cakes a lot, that increases the fatness in our body, and chocolates too. I looked down again at the little dog. That was the trouble. His only fault was greed. He had never been his food. He would tackle a meal at any hour of the day or night, and I wondered about all the things Mrs. Pumphrey had not mentioned. So now the doctor is thinking, what's the fault? The fault is the dog is very greedy. Whatever you give him, whenever you give him, he will eat that. He will leave nothing in the plate. Anytime, everything. So this is the main problem, this is the main concern of the dog being fat. And there are a lot of things Mrs. Pumphrey is hiding from the doctor. And she was afraid that if I tell all these things that I am giving my dog this also, the doctor will become angry. Next line. Are you giving him plenty of exercise? The doctor is asking. Mr. Harriet is asking the owner. Well, he has his little walks with me, as you can see, but Hodkin, the gardener, has been done with lumbago, so there has been no ring throwing lately. So when Mr. Harriet asked Mrs. Pamphret that are you giving him proper kind of exercise, like as you have seen many times the dog loves to play. The dog is a very beautiful creature and it is very friendly, it is very playful. So he plays with the rings, he plays with the balls, he plays on almost each and every stuff. So the doctor is asking about that, the playful exercises. So Mrs. Pamphret has a servant, but at the moment he is not available, so he is not given proper exercise. He is only walking in the morning, which is not sufficient as per the condition of the Tricky. Next paragraph. I tried to sound severe. Now I really mean this. If you don't cut his food right down and give him more exercise, he is going to be really ill. You must harden your heart and keep him on a very strict diet. Now Mrs. Harriet is talking about diet. Diet means balanced amount of food. It's not like that whatever you wish you can eat. You have to restrict yourself as per prescribed by the doctor. You can only eat those things, and you have to avoid oily things, fatty things, junk food. You have to eat simple food only, homemade food only, nothing else. So Mr. Harriet said that you have to reduce all these things and you have to keep the dog on a strict diet so that it can recover. Mrs. Pamphret wrung her hands. Oh, I will, Mr. Harriet, I'm sure you're right, but it is so difficult, so very difficult. She set off, head down, along the road, as if determined to put the new regime into practice immediately. Now, what is the problem with Mrs. Pamphret? That she loves her dog very much. She is keeping the dog like her own child. So whatever the dog is wishing to eat, whatever the dog is demanding, she is fulfilling that. At that moment, it has become very difficult for Mrs. Pamphret to deny, to restrict him from eating. So it is a very difficult thing for Mrs. Pamphret. I watched their progress with growing concern. Tricky was tottering along in his little tweed coat. He had a whole wardrobe of these coats, from the cold weather and a raincoat for the wet days. He struggled on, drooping in his harness. I thought it would be long before I heard from Mrs. Pamphret. Now the doctor is also worried. Mr. Harriet is also worried. If you see the dog, it feels like he is wearing a kind of overcoat, but it is not. It is his skin that is down to his body. He is very fat. All the skin, it is down from neck, from cheeks, from stomach. You can say everywhere skin is out of the body. So it is like turning like a swing from left to right whenever the dog walks, and he is tied with a harness. So after a long time, when Mrs. Pamphret did not contact Mr. Harriet, the doctor thought to contact her and to know about the dog's health condition. The expected call came within a few days. Mrs. Pamphret was distraught. Tricky would eat nothing, refused even his favorite dishes, and besides, he had bout of vomiting. He spent all his time lying on a rug, panting, didn't want to go for walks, didn't want to do anything. So now the condition is becoming worse. The dog gradually refused to eat anything. Now he doesn't eat anything. All the time he's lying on the ground and He's like become very lazy, no enthusiasm, no energy, nothing. He's looking very very ill. And the dog's owner, Mrs. Pamphlet, she is very worried about this condition. On top of that, the dog is vomiting all the time. First, he is not eating anything, and second, he is vomiting a lot. I had made my plans in advance. The only way was to get Tricky out of the house for a period. I suggested that he be hospitalized for about a fortnight to be kept under observation. Fortnight, that means 15 days. So, what he suggested at the moment that if you want your dog to be well, you need to do some sacrifice. What is the sacrifice? You have to keep your dog out of the house. I'm going to admit it in my hospital. I will treat the dog there. When it becomes fine, I will return it to you for 15 days. The poor lady almost swooned. She was sure he would pine and die if he did not see her every day. Now, Mrs. Pamphret loves her dog very much. It cannot be described the love between the dog and the owner. When the doctor, Mr. Harriot, told this that I'm going to take away your dog for 15 days, she was like dying. Because she thinks that if I don't see my dog every day, it will be very, very painful for me. But I took a firm line. Tricky was very ill, and this was the only way to save him. In fact, I thought it best to take him without delay and followed by Mrs. Pamphlet Bearings. I marched out to the car carrying the little dog wrapped in a blanket. Despite of this feeling, this harsh moment, the only way so that the dog can be recovered was to take him away from the house and get him treated in the hospital, Mr. Harriot's hospital. So without any delay, he took the dog who was wrapped in a blanket and he took him in his car. The entire staff was roused and maids rushed in and out bringing his day bed, his night bed, favorite cushions, toys and rubber rings, breakfast bowl, lunch bowl, supper bowl. Realizing that my car would never hold all the stuff, I started to drive away. As I moved off, Mrs. Pamphret, with a despairing cry, threw an armful of the little coats through the window. I looked in the mirror before I turned the corner of the drive. Everybody was in tears. So now in this line you can realize how the dog is loved in by the owner in his house. He has everything, every luxurious thing that a child can get, the dog is getting in that house. It is worth mentioning he has everything luxurious. His day bed is different, his night bed is different, cushions are also available, toys are also available for him, rubber rings, breakfast bowl is separate, lunch bowl is also separate, and supper bowl is also separate. That means if the dog is getting three meals in a day, he is getting in 3 different bowls. If the dog sleeps 3 times in a day, he sleeps on 3 different beds. This is how the lady loves the dog. And the car, the doctor's car, Mr. Harriot, in which he is carrying the dog, is full of all these stuffs. So now he thought it is wasteful to stay here. So now he started driving the car. All the staff, all the members of the house, and along with the Mrs. Pamphlet, they had tears. They were crying as if a family member was leaving the house. Next paragraph. Out on the road, I glanced down at the pathetic little animal gasping on the seat by my side. I patted the head and Tricky made a brave effort to wag his tail. Poor old lad. I said, we haven't a kick in you, but I think I know a cure for you. So, all the way to driving to the hospital, a doctor is looking at the dog. He's very helpless that time, so the doctor patted his head, his body, and after a very much effort, the dog wagged its tail. So the doctor felt very sorry for the dog, but he was sure that he can find a cure and he can treat the dog. It will become healthy and fit again. At the surgery, the household dogs surged round me. Tricky looked down at the noisy bag with dull eyes and when put down, lay motionless on the carpet. The other dogs, after sniffing round him for a few seconds, decided he was uninterested object and ignored him. So generally what happens if you keep one dog surrounded with all other dogs, so they either they play or they fight together. At least they bark. They show the sign that we are animals. We love to play. We love to fight. But this is not the case with the Tricky. When he entered in the hospital, actually it is a kind of rehabilitation center for animals. So there are other dogs also who are being treated in that hospital. So when he put the dog on the carpet, he lay flat, motionless. Other dogs came, they started smelling the dog and they thought it is not energetic, it cannot play with us. So the other dogs, they left Tricky alone. I made up a bed for him in a warm loose box next to the one where the other dogs slept. For 2 days I kept an eye on him, giving him no food but plenty of water. At the end of the second day he started to show some interest in his surrounding, and on third he began to whimper when he heard dogs in the yard. So what the doctor did, he does not do any kind of operation. What he did not give the dog any kind of food. He kept him hungry for 2 days. He gave only water. Nothing happened, but on the third day the dog started showing some interest. He started exploring the surrounding. He started looking at other dogs and he showed some attention with the dogs, to play with the dogs. When I opened the door, Tricky trotted out and was immediately engulfed by Joe, the greyhound, and his friends. After rolling him over and thoroughly inspecting him, the dogs moved off down the garden. Tricky followed them, rolling slightly with his surplus fat. So now what happens? After the third day, the dog became friends with all other dogs. They came, they started playing, and the dog also, Tricky also started running after them, but he could not run. So gradually he is walking behind them, he is following them. Wherever they go, the Tricky follows them. Later that day, I was present at feeding time. I watched while Tristan is a servant, or you can say he's a helper in that hospital. He's a person. I watched while Tristan sloped the food into the bowls. There was the usual headlong rush followed by the sound of high-speed eating. Every dog knew that if he fell behind the others, he was liable to have some competition for the last part of his meal. Now, in the hospital, there is a system of feeding all the dogs. There is a proper time and there is also proper amount of food. And there is some sort of competition also. So if the dog does not rush, he will be left behind. He will have nothing to eat in the plate because there is a very intense competition. As soon as the food gets in the bowl, all the dogs, they are rushing towards the bowl and they are eating. Next paragraph. When they had finished, Tricky took a walk round the shining bowls, licking casually inside one or two of them. Next day, an extra bowl was put out for him, and I was pleased to see him jostling his way towards it. So, within these days, the dog was fed nothing, but now the dog is showing some interest to have some food. He is licking the bowl of other dogs. So what they did, the hospital staff, they put an extra bowl for Tricky. From then on, his progress was rapid. He had no medicinal treatment of any kind, but all day he ran about with the dogs, joining in their friendly scrimmages. He discovered the joy of being bowled over and tramped on and squashed every few minutes. He became an accepted member of the gang, an unlikely, silky little object among the shaggy crew, fighting like a tiger for his share at meal times and hunting rats in the old hen house at night. He had never had such a time in his life. So now this time it is a very funny moment for the dog. He's also enjoying. It is a very happy moment for the dog. He's playing with other dogs all the time. He became friends. He joined their friendship and he's playing. He's running after them and he's fighting also. He's playing also. He's running also. And at meal time he's giving them tough competition. He's fighting for the food also, and he's hunting rats also. So this moment had never came in Tricky's life. This is a very exclusive moment for him as he enjoying these kind of things in his life. All the while, Mrs. Pamphlet hovered anxiously in the background, ringing a dozen times a day for the latest bulletins. I dodged the question about whether his cushions were being turned regularly or his current coat worn according to the weather, but I was able to tell her that the little fellow was out of danger and convalescing rapidly. Convalescing, that means recovering from illness. So Mrs. Pamphlet is very worried. He keeps on ringing the phone all the time, all the day, and worried about everything. What she gave the dog, the cushion, the bed, and whatever the stuff she's offering him to eat. But only one thing, the doctor told him that he is recovering from illness gradually. But she's asking all the time about all these stuff, but the doctor is not showing any kind of interest in telling all these things. The doctor, Mr. Harriot, said only one thing, that the dog is recovering. The word convalescing seemed to do something to Mrs. Pamphlet. She started to bring round fresh eggs, 24 at a time, to build up Tricky's strength for a happy period. My partners and I had 2 eggs each for breakfast. But when the bottles of wine began to arrive, the real possibilities of the situation began to dawn on the household. It was to enrich Tricky's blood. Lunch became a ceremonial occasion, with 2 glasses of wine before and several during the meal. What is happening now? When the owner of the dog, Mrs. Pamphlet, heard that the Tricky is recovering, she started sending all the stuffs, dozen of eggs, wine, every luxurious item that the dog loved to eat. But what the doctor is doing is not giving food to dog. He and his workers, they are having those food themselves. They're not giving it to the dog, because if they started giving all these food, these fatty foods, the dog would become ill again. So they are having wine also, they are having eggs also, and they are having very luxurious breakfast, lunch and dinner. Next paragraph. We could hardly believe it when the brandy came to put a final edge on Tricky's constitution. For a few nights, the fine spirit was rolled around, inhaled, and reverently drunk. Now, here the interesting parts come. After the lot of stuff like egg, wine, the brandy came for the dog. So, in these lines, you can imagine what a life the dog was living. He was living like a richest kid on the planet. He was fed, he was given everything to eat what a child or what a boy, what a girl loves. There were days of deep content, starting well with the extra egg in the morning, improved and sustained by the midday wine, and finishing luxurious around the fire with the brandy. Now the doctor and the team, they are having the real luxury. They are starting their breakfast with the eggs, and they are ending their lunch with the wine, and at the night after the dinner they are having brandy. So all 3 times they are having the luxury which was originally given for the dog, but now it is being enjoyed by the doctor and his team. It was a temptation to keep Tricky on as a permanent guest, but I knew Mrs. Pamphret was suffering, and after a fortnight felt compelled to phone and tell her that the little dog had recovered and was awaiting collection. Within minutes, about 30 feet of gleaming black metal drew up outside the surgery. The chauffeur opened the door, and I could just make out the figure of Mrs. Pamphret almost lost in the inch. Her hands were tightly clasped in front of her. Her lips trembled. "Oh, Mr. Harriot, do tell me the truth. Is he really better?" So the doctor was thinking that it is very beneficial for me and my staff to keep the dog permanently. If we keep him each day, all these luxurious food items will keep coming. But on the other hand, he also knew that if I cannot keep the dog permanently because Mrs. Pamphret is very worried. She keeps on ringing the phone all the day, and she loves the dog very much. So after 14 to 15 days, he gave the call to Mrs. Pamphret that your dog is recovered. Now you can take him back. The very next moment, a black shiny car came. The driver opened the gate, and very rapidly, the owner of the dog, Mrs. Pamphret, came out, and she was like very excited to see the dog, and she was very thankful to the doctor also. The first question she asked the doctor that please tell me this is true, my dog has recovered, he is now fit and fine. Yes, he's fine. There's no need for you to get out of the car. I'll go and fetch him. The doctor said, yes, he's absolutely fine. Please be seated inside the car only. I'll call him and the dog will come running. Tricky will come running. I walked through the house into the garden. A mass of dogs was hurtling around and round the lawn, and in their midst, ears flapping, tails waving, was the little golden figure of Tricky. In 2 weeks, he had been transformed into a lithe, hard-muscled animal. He was keeping up well with the pack, stretching out in great bounds, his chest almost brushing the ground. So now the condition is very better. The dog has recovered completely. Now he can run, he can walk, he can play. And so when the doctor, Mr. Harriot, entered inside the compound, he was playing with all other dogs. They were waving the tails, they were playing all the things, whatever generally the dog do in group. So he recognized him and he called him out. I carried him back along the passage to the front of the house. The chauffeur was still holding the car door open, and when Tricky saw his mistress, he took off from my arms and in tremendous leap and sailed into Mrs. Pamphret's lap. She gave a start. "Oh, and then had to defend herself as he swarmed over her, licking her face and barking. During the excitement, I helped the chauffeur to bring out the beds, toys, cushions, pots, and bowls, none of which had been used. As the car moved away, Mrs. Pamphret leaned out of the window, tears shone in her ears, her lips trembled. "Oh, Mr. Harriot," she cried, "how can I ever thank you? This is a triumph of surgery." So, when the dog came out in the lap of the doctor, no sooner did he saw his owner, Mrs. Pamphret, he jumped out. And tremendously, rapidly, he came and he jumped into the lap of the owner and he started licking her face and he was showing his love for the owner. He started wagging its tail and they both were in love, the owner and the dog. The owner, Mrs. Pamphret, was crying to see the dog after a long time, after a long 15 days. And the driver was standing outside. He came with the doctor, Mr. Harriot, and the doctor handed over all the stuffs, the beds, the bowls, the cushions, and rest of the things which was not at all used because the dog was living there living there with simplicity. None of the luxurious item was used in the hospital. So she was crying. She was weeping, Mrs. Pamphret. In a very crying voice, she thanked Mr. Harriot, and the last word she said out of the window while the car was running, that this is the real triumph of surgery. So here the story ended. In the story, we find out that being fit and healthy is very important for us. We should not eat a lot of junk food. We should not eat a lot of oily food. If we do so, we will fall definitely ill. So we should avoid these things as much as possible. And we should do exercise regularly. So this was the story all about. And there was no surgery done. There was no operation done to the dog. It was only a kind of exercise and proper diet with which the dog became fit, fine and healthy again. So thank you very much for watching our videos. Please do subscribe our channel.